What if the creatures you never expected turned out to be the ones you should fear the most? They don't roar, they don't chase, they don't even warn you, but they strike, sting, squeeze, or stalk. And they're far closer than you think. They come in all shapes, feathered, scaled, furred, or invisible to the eye. They hide in tide pools, tree lines, shadows, or right beneath your feet. Some move with purpose, others don't move at all. But every one of them has something in common. They don't play fair. This isn't a countdown of giants or monsters. This is a journey into the unexpected, where danger doesn't look like danger, and where survival depends not on strength, but awareness. These aren't just animals to avoid. They're nature's most unpredictable players, and some of them are already closer than you think. What if the most dangerous bird on Earth didn't fly, didn't roar, but could send you straight to the hospital with one kick? Meet the cassowary, a bird that looks like it time-traveled straight out of the Cretaceous period. With its prehistoric bone-helmeted head, electric blue skin, and thick black feathers, it's often called a dinosaur with feathers. But the nickname isn't just about looks. It's about how fast, fierce, and unpredictable this bird really is. Standing up to 6 feet tall and weighing over 130 pounds, the cassowary commands attention. It can sprint at speeds of 30 miles per hour, leap over 7 feet, and swim across rivers. But its true weapon? Those massive legs, each one ending in a set of razor-sharp claws, including a middle dagger-like talon that can reach 4 inches long. That claw isn't for show. One strike can cause deep lacerations, internal injuries. Or worse, when cassowaries kick, they don't just push you back. They aim to knock you down and open you up. And they'll do it fast, without hesitation, especially when defending their territory or chicks. There have been multiple documented attacks on humans. In 2019, a man in Florida was killed by his own pet cassowary after falling in its enclosure. Park rangers in Australia approach cassowaries with extreme caution, and in some cases even carry shields. These birds don't bluff. Unlike other aggressive animals, the cassowary doesn't growl or warn you. There's no signal. It will silently size you up, and if you get too close, it just acts. It launches forward with astonishing speed, delivering a slicing kick that can knock a grown adult off their feet. And that's if you're lucky. What makes it even more dangerous is how unexpected it is. Most people see birds as harmless, feathered, delicate. But cassowaries are strong, territorial, and prone to sudden bursts of aggression if startled. Add to that poor visibility in dense rainforest habitat, and you've got a bird that could be 2 feet away before you even notice. But don't get it twisted. The cassowary isn't evil. It doesn't hunt humans. It just doesn't back down. It's a creature built for survival in some of the toughest environments on Earth. Its aggression is defense, not attack. But if you disrespect its space, you'll know it instantly. So next time you hear rustling in the rainforest and think, it's probably just a bird, remember this one. Because the cassowary is proof that sometimes the most unexpected creatures hit the hardest. You think you'd hear it coming, right? But what if your first warning was already too late? Meet the leopard, sleek, silent, and possibly the most underestimated big cat in the wild. It doesn't need to roar to prove its dominance. It doesn't need a pack to hunt, and it doesn't need to be seen. until it's already too close. Found throughout sub-Saharan Africa, parts of the Middle East, and deep into Asia, including India, Sri Lanka, and even the Russian Far East, the leopard is one of the most widespread big cats, and one of the most elusive. While lions rule the savanna and tigers dominate forests, leopards thrive everywhere in between, adapting to jungles, deserts, mountains, and even urban edges. Their physical abilities are off the charts. Leopards can run over 36 miles per hour, jump 10 feet vertically, and leap more than 20 feet horizontally. But it's not their speed that makes them scary. It's their stillness. They stalk in silence, often circling their target with eerie patience, waiting for the perfect moment. Their coat, covered in rosettes, blends perfectly with foliage and broken light, making them almost invisible in the wild. And then there's their strength. A leopard can carry prey heavier than itself up into a tree, hoisting carcasses of antelope, monkeys, or even jackals into the branches. Why? To keep it safe from scavengers like lions or hyenas. It's not just brute force, it's strategy. But let's talk about what most people don't know. Leopards and humans cross paths more often than you think. In parts of India, particularly in regions like Maharashtra and Uttarakhand, leopards have adapted to life near villages, silently navigating rooftops, fields, and alleyways. There are reports of leopards entering towns, stealing livestock, and, in rare cases, snatching people, including children, during the night. One such case involved a leopard dubbed the Panar man-eater, which killed over 400 people in the early 20th century. Are these animals monsters? No. These are creatures pushed to the edge by deforestation, habitat loss, and food scarcity. But they're also smart, incredibly smart. Leopards have been seen using tools, opening gates, timing human routines, and avoiding camera traps. They are solitary, patient, and deeply tactical predators. They don't chase blindly. They calculate. They are also one of the only big cats that routinely hunts in trees, and sometimes even sleeps on overhanging branches to watch over a path or a herd below. You won't hear a warning growl. There's no crashing through bushes, just a flicker of movement, and it's done. Even conservationists tread carefully around them, because with leopards, it's not the power that terrifies, it's the uncertainty. You never know they're there until they want you to. So if you're ever walking through the forest and the sounds suddenly stop, don't relax. In the world of the leopard, silence doesn't mean it's gone. It means it's closer than ever. Did you know that one of the most dangerous animals in the ocean fits in the palm of your hand and glows like a neon sign? Meet the blue-ringed octopus, a creature so small and beautiful you'd think it came straight out of a cartoon. But don't let its size or colors fool you. This tiny, golf ball-sized octopus carries one of the deadliest venoms on Earth. And the worst part? Most people don't even realize they've been bitten until it's far too late. Its venom, tetrodotoxin, is powerful enough to shut down your nervous system in minutes. No screaming, no thrashing, just silence. Your muscles stop responding. Your lungs forget how to breathe. And unless help arrives immediately, your story ends at the beach. The blue-ringed octopus doesn't hunt humans. It doesn't chase or roar. In fact, it often sits quietly in tide pools or coral crevices, waiting. But if you reach out, maybe to pick up that cool, glowing thing for a photo, it reacts the only way it knows how. With a bite you won't even feel, until the numbness kicks in. One documented case tells of a soldier who picked one up while swimming, thinking it was just another cool sea creature. He never made it out of the water. His friends didn't even realize what had happened until he collapsed minutes later, already paralyzed, already fading. What makes the blue-ringed octopus even scarier is where it hides. Shallow water, popular swimming spots, and even tide pools where kids play. It doesn't need deep ocean or dramatic music. It just needs a second, a touch. So next time you're walking barefoot along a beach in the Pacific or Indian Ocean and see something glowing in the sand, maybe don't pick it up. This is not the kind of souvenir you want to bring home. You probably worry about spiders hiding in corners, but what if one ran straight at you instead? Introducing the wolf spider, a creepy crawler that flips the script on everything you think you know about spiders. It doesn't weave elegant webs. It doesn't dangle from ceilings. Instead, it hunts. On foot, at speed, with precision. Wolf spiders get their name from their behavior. They chase down their prey like wolves, stalking, sprinting, and pouncing with terrifying accuracy. Found all over the world, from backyards in the US to forests in Australia, they're highly adaptable and ridiculously fast for their size. Most species are about 1 to 2 inches long, but some can grow to the size of a human palm. Legs included. Covered in hair-like bristles and equipped with 8 piercing eyes that shine back at you in the dark, they look like something out of a survival horror game. And guess what? They're not just scary looking, they're relentless. Unlike web builders who wait, wolf spiders are active predators. They roam the ground, hiding under leaves, logs, or rocks, and ambush insects with bursts of speed and power. Some even carry their young on their backs, dozens of tiny spiderlings that scatter when threatened. If that visual made you shiver, congratulations, you're human. Here's the wild part. While wolf spiders are not considered deadly to humans, their bites are still painful, often causing swelling, redness, and in rare cases, necrosis. And because they don't warn or flee like most spiders, you're more likely to encounter them up close, especially at night when they're most active. They're also known for charging toward light sources or vibrations, not out of aggression, but because they rely on movement to track prey. So yes, that spider that ran toward your foot instead of away, probably a wolf spider doing its thing. And despite the fear they provoke, wolf spiders play a crucial role in ecosystems, controlling insect populations, recycling nutrients, and feeding larger predators. But that doesn't mean you want one under your blanket. So next time you're in the woods, or even just cleaning out the garage, and something scuttles a little too fast across the floor, don't assume it's running away. It might be running straight at you. What if one of the most loyal dog breeds on Earth could also be one of the most dangerous in the wrong hands? The Rottweiler is a symbol of strength, loyalty, and, in the wrong headlines, fear. Muscular, confident, and undeniably powerful, this breed was originally developed in Germany to herd livestock and pull carts. But today, it sits at the center of a global debate. Are Rottweilers naturally dangerous, or are they simply misunderstood victims of poor ownership? A typical Rottweiler weighs around 80 to 135 pounds, with a bite force measured at over 320 psi, more than enough to crush bone. Their frame is compact but solid, built like a tank on 4 legs. And when they move, it's deliberate, focused, and intimidating. In many places, Rottweilers are banned or heavily restricted, listed alongside breeds like pit bulls and cane corsos as high-risk dogs. And that's not without cause. Statistics show that Rottweilers have been involved in a number of fatal attacks, often ranking second only to pit bulls in global bite-related deaths. But here's the truth no one likes to hear. Rottweilers aren't born dangerous. They're loyal, obedient, and even gentle. But they're also incredibly territorial, naturally dominant, and require firm, experienced handling from an early age. Without structure, discipline, and proper socialization, a Rottweiler can develop aggressive or uncontrollable behavior, especially toward strangers. In many of the worst-case incidents, the pattern is familiar. Untrained dog, careless owner, no boundaries, and a recipe for disaster. One tragic case involved a family Rottweiler left unsupervised with a child, a mistake that ended in horror. Not because the dog was evil, but because no one took responsibility. That's the core message with this breed. Power without control is a problem. A well-trained Rottweiler is one of the best protection dogs you could ask for, loyal, fearless, and intelligent. But a poorly trained one? It's a risk to everyone nearby. They don't bark aimlessly. They don't snap without reason. But when they feel challenged, when they're pushed, they respond fast and with full force. And when a 130-pound dog responds like that, the consequences are never small. So next time you see a Rottweiler in public, calm, alert, watching everything, don't assume it's a threat. But definitely don't assume it's harmless either. What if the creature following you through the forest was completely silent and had been watching you for hours? The cougar, also known as the mountain lion, is one of the most elusive and effective predators in the Americas. With a body built for stealth, power, and explosive speed, it doesn't need a pack or a roar. It just needs patience and a clean line of sight. Weighing up to 220 pounds and stretching over 8 feet in length, cougars are solitary hunters that roam vast territories, from Canadian wilderness to South American mountains. But unlike wolves or bears, they don't make noise. They don't chase you down. They follow, observe, and wait. Cougars are ambush predators. They strike from above, from behind, from angles where you least expect it. A typical attack involves a powerful leap, sometimes from 20 feet away, followed by a neck bite designed to crush the windpipe or snap the spine. It's fast, quiet, brutal. In areas like Colorado, California, and parts of South America, cougar sightings have increased due to human expansion into their territory. And with that comes a chilling reality. These cats don't fear us as much as they used to. There have been documented attacks on humans, often hikers, joggers, or campers moving through remote trails. In most cases, the cougar stalked its target for minutes, even hours, before striking. Victims report a feeling of being watched, followed, and then it's too late. One of the most famous cases involved a jogger in California who was ambushed mid-run. The cougar leapt from a slope, tackled the man from behind, and had to be fought off with nothing but a water bottle and sheer adrenaline. The man survived. Barely. What makes cougars especially dangerous is how well they blend in. Their tawny fur disappears into dry grass and rocks. Their movement is nearly silent, and their eyes sharp and unblinking, track every step. And yet, they're also deeply misunderstood. Cougars are not aggressive by nature. They're cautious, intelligent, and most attacks stem from hunger, confusion, or territory defense. But if you stumble into their zone, especially alone or at dusk, they'll calculate whether you're prey. So next time you're hiking a trail and feel the hairs on your neck stand up, don't ignore it. Because if a cougar is watching, chances are it's been doing so for longer than you realize. You probably don't expect a giant lizard to stalk you. But what if it followed and waited for you to fall? Say hello to the Komodo dragon, the largest living lizard on Earth, and possibly the closest thing we have to a real-life dragon. Native to a few islands in Indonesia, this reptile doesn't breathe fire, but it doesn't need to. It has stealth, power, and a mouth full of slow-motion death. Komodo dragons can grow up to 10 feet long and weigh more than 150 pounds. That's heavier than most people imagine for a lizard, and it's all muscle, claws, and ancient instinct. But despite their bulky build, they can run up to 12 miles per hour, swim across channels, and blend into dry, rocky terrain like shadows with scales. What really makes them terrifying isn't just the size, it's their bite. For years, scientists believed that Komodos relied on bacteria in their mouths to kill prey. But newer research shows something even darker. They're venomous. Their saliva contains anticoagulants and toxins that reduce blood pressure and stop clotting. One bite, and the victim starts bleeding. Not quickly, but steadily. A deer or boar might escape at first, but the dragon just follows. Hours later, the animal collapses from blood loss or shock, and that's when the Komodo returns to finish the job. And yes, there have been documented attacks on humans, some fatal. These dragons have entered villages, stalked sleeping campers, and even bitten zookeepers through reinforced gloves. They aren't aggressive without cause, but when they commit to an attack, they don't stop. Komodo dragons are ambush predators. They wait, they lunge, and they remember. Their sense of smell is so sharp they can detect blood from up to 6 miles away. But here's the most chilling part. They're quiet. No hiss, no growl. Just a sudden charge, a deep bite, and silence. A prehistoric reminder that not all monsters are myths. So, if you ever find yourself walking across Komodo Island and the jungle suddenly feels still, look again. Because if a Komodo dragon is watching you, chances are it already decided when to move. What if the scariest predator in the jungle didn't roar, strike, or run, but simply wrapped around you and squeezed? Let's talk about the anaconda, the legendary serpent of the Amazon. With stories wrapped in myth, fear, and pure brute strength, this snake doesn't rely on venom. It doesn't chase you down. It just waits, and then crushes everything in its path. Among them, the green anaconda is the heavyweight. It holds the title of the largest snake in the world by weight, with some individuals reaching 30 feet in length, weighing over 500 pounds, and as thick as a human torso. That's not an animal. That's a coiled muscle factory. Unlike venomous snakes that strike and retreat, anacondas are constrictors. They ambush their prey from murky waters, silently. And when the target gets close enough, they strike with lightning speed, coiling their body around the victim and squeezing tighter with every breath the prey exhales. It's not a fast kill. It's slow, relentless, and final. Anacondas eat anything they can overpower: deer, capybaras, wild pigs, caimans, even jaguars on rare occasions. Once constricted, the prey is swallowed whole, head first, and digested over days. Yes, it sounds like a horror movie, but it's real. And it happens in the flooded forests of South America every day. Though attacks on humans are rare, they do happen. In remote Amazonian regions, there are local reports and even chilling survival stories from people who got too close while swimming or wading in snake territory. These encounters don't make global headlines, but they live forever in the storytelling culture of the jungle. One of the creepiest facts: the anaconda can hold its breath underwater for up to 10 minutes, waiting like a submerged log until the perfect moment to strike. You won't hear it, you won't see it, and you won't realize it's there until it's already too late. But don't mistake this snake for a mindless monster. It's a calculated, highly adapted ambush predator that plays a crucial role in the river ecosystem. And unlike many predators, it doesn't waste energy. It waits, it chooses, then it acts with brutal precision. So if you're ever drifting through the backwaters of the Amazon and the forest seems still, almost too still, you might not be alone. Because when the anaconda moves, you probably won't even have time to scream. What if the deadliest fish in the ocean didn't chase you, but just waited for you to step on it? It sounds like a bad beach joke, but the stonefish is very real, very venomous, and terrifyingly good at hiding. With a body shaped like coral and a skin texture that looks like underwater rock, this fish has mastered the art of invisible danger. Native to the coastal waters of the Indo-Pacific, stonefish are only about the size of a loaf of bread. But every inch of their dorsal surface is wired for pain. On their back are 13 sharp spines, each connected to venom glands that release a neurotoxic cocktail strong enough to kill a human. The danger comes not from aggression. Stonefish don't attack, but from complete stillness. They lie buried in sand or perched on reef shelves, blending in perfectly. Swimmers, snorkelers, or unlucky fishermen step down. And that's when the body reacts. The spines shoot up, the venom is injected, and the pain begins. Survivors describe the sting as instant, burning, and overwhelming, a full-body assault that spreads from the foot to the lungs. In severe cases, the venom causes paralysis, shock, heart failure, and if untreated, death. All from one wrong step. What's worse, you usually don't even see it coming. The stonefish doesn't move, doesn't shimmer, doesn't warn you. And protective footwear only helps a little because some stings have pierced straight through rubber soles. There is an anti-venom, but time is everything. The longer the venom circulates, the more damage it does. Victims often require hospitalization, IV painkillers, and in some cases, artificial respiration. In tropical beach zones like northern Australia, stonefish stings are a known medical emergency. And yet, this creature remains nearly invisible to the eye. A reminder that in nature, not every threat swims fast, flashes teeth, or makes noise. Sometimes it just sits, waits, and lets your own footsteps do the work. So next time you're in warm, tropical water, don't just watch for what swims toward you. Watch where you step. What if the animal that looks slow, shaggy, and awkward turned out to be one of the most aggressive creatures in the forest? Meet the sloth bear, a shaggy, awkward-looking mammal native to the Indian subcontinent. With its long claws, messy fur, and odd gait, it might not seem like much of a threat. It doesn't roar like a tiger. It doesn't tower like a grizzly. But when things go wrong, this bear goes full berserk mode. Despite the name, sloth bears are not slow and definitely not lazy. They can run faster than a human, climb trees with ease, and most importantly, they have a reputation for being wildly unpredictable. Unlike other bear species that usually avoid humans, sloth bears are known to charge first and ask zero questions. They mainly feed on termites and ants, ripping apart mounds with their long, curved claws and using their lips like a vacuum hose. But when they feel threatened, those same claws can rip through flesh in seconds. And they aim high, going for the face and head, not the legs. In fact, sloth bears are responsible for more attacks on humans in India than any other bear species. They've mauled villagers, forest rangers, even armed hunters. And the terrifying part? Many of these attacks seem unprovoked. You don't even have to threaten them. Just walking into their space, especially with cubs nearby, can trigger a violent encounter. One wildlife official in Madhya Pradesh described sloth bears as unpredictable, extremely aggressive, and fearless. In some areas, they're even more feared than tigers, because while tigers tend to avoid confrontation, sloth bears often run toward it. And if you're thinking, at least I'll hear it coming, probably not. These bears are nocturnal. They blend into the underbrush, and their attack is so sudden and ferocious that many victims never get a chance to react. Survivors often report severe facial injuries, broken bones, and permanent disfigurement. But sloth bears aren't monsters. They're just high-strung survivors in a shrinking habitat. They're often startled, not bloodthirsty. But in their mind, the best defense is an immediate offense. And they don't hold back. So the next time you see a video of a cute, shaggy bear rolling around in the forest, just remember that same bear might charge a tiger or a tourist without a second thought. What if the ocean's most painful sting didn't come from a shark or a bite, but from something you didn't even see? It's nearly transparent. It doesn't chase. It doesn't growl. And yet, the box jellyfish is considered by many scientists to be one of the most venomous creatures on the planet. Found in the warm coastal waters of the Indo-Pacific, especially near northern Australia, this ghost-like organism has ruined more vacations and ended more lives than most people realize. The box jellyfish gets its name from its cube-shaped bell, which can grow to the size of a basketball. From each corner trails up to 15 tentacles, each 10 feet long and lined with thousands of stinging cells called nematocysts. And these aren't just any stingers. They inject a powerful neurotoxin that attacks the heart, nervous system, and skin simultaneously. A single brush with a tentacle can cause excruciating pain, respiratory collapse, and cardiac arrest, sometimes within minutes. Victims often report feeling like they've been set on fire, followed by muscle spasms, vomiting, confusion, and in extreme cases, death before even reaching shore. What makes the box jellyfish even more terrifying? It can swim. Unlike most jellyfish that drift with the current, box jellies have active propulsion, allowing them to hunt, or worse, bump into swimmers with intent. And thanks to a complex system of 24 eyes, it can detect movement, shapes, and even avoid obstacles. That's right, it sees you coming. Despite safety nets, warning signs, and stinger season protocols, swimmers are still stung every year. Lifeguards in Australia are trained to respond immediately to jellyfish incidents, and vinegar stations are installed along beaches because vinegar helps neutralize unfired stingers. But once the venom is in your system, there's no reversing it, only managing the damage. There is an antivenom, but it must be administered immediately, and even then, long-term pain and scarring are common. Some survivors suffer from Irukandji syndrome, a delayed reaction that includes weeks of severe pain, anxiety, and systemic trauma. And all of this from something you barely notice in the water. So next time you wade into that crystal-clear tropical sea, excited for a swim, remember, not everything dangerous makes waves. Some things just float and wait. What if the thing that ruins your body for years was smaller than your thumbnail and almost silent? Let's talk about the tsetse fly, a tiny insect native to sub-Saharan Africa that looks completely harmless. It doesn't buzz like a wasp, it doesn't bite like a spider, but what it does do is far worse. It infects you with a parasite that can shut down your brain. This fly is the primary carrier of a disease called African trypanosomiasis, better known as sleeping sickness. But don't let the name fool you. This isn't about taking naps. Once the parasite enters your bloodstream, it begins attacking your nervous system, your brain, your behavior. It can take weeks, months, or even years. But the end stage is always the same: confusion, hallucinations, total neurological collapse. Left untreated, it's fatal. The scariest part? The bite itself feels like nothing. You might swat at something small, think nothing happened, and then forget about it until the headaches start, the insomnia, the mental fog, and eventually a full breakdown of basic body function. Victims become lethargic, lose coordination, and slip into a coma. Hence the name. The World Health Organization has classified sleeping sickness as a neglected tropical disease, but that doesn't mean it's rare. Tens of thousands of cases have been reported in recent decades, mostly in rural areas where access to diagnosis and treatment is limited. What makes the tsetse fly so dangerous isn't just its disease, it's its invisibility. It blends in with common houseflies, lives in shaded areas, and prefers to bite during the day. It targets both humans and livestock, wreaking havoc on entire communities by spreading illness and economic loss. There is treatment, but it's not easy. Powerful drugs are required, and they come with severe side effects. And that's if the infection is caught in time. So the next time you think danger only comes with size, sound, or speed, remember this: sometimes the most devastating threats are the ones you don't even feel until it's far too late. You've just met 12 creatures, and not one of them needed to roar to earn your respect. No cinematic chases, no jungle drum rolls, just silence, precision, and sometimes a single mistake. Some sit like rocks and strike like lightning. Some look at you from a distance and wait for you to look away. Some don't even bite, they infect. And weeks later, your body starts to forget how to be itself. We've seen a jellyfish with enough venom to shut down a heart in 3 minutes. A dog that can be your best friend, or your biggest regret. A snake that doesn't hiss because it doesn't need to. A bird that kicks like it wants to break time. And a spider that doesn't hide, it hunts. These animals aren't horror movie villains. They're part of the real world. And they remind us of something we like to forget. In nature, it's not always about strength. It's about timing and intent. Sometimes the deadliest thing in the wild isn't the predator you see. It's the one that's already made its move before you even realized you were the target. So what does all this really tell us? Not just that nature is full of threats, but that it hides them where we least expect. We tend to fear the obvious. Loud growls, sharp fangs, massive size. But the real world doesn't play by those rules. Sometimes it's a jellyfish drifting like nothing, a spider that charges instead of hides, a bird that doesn't fly but kicks like a battering ram, or a silent shape in the forest that's been watching you longer than you realized. None of these creatures attack for sport. They don't need hate, rage, or warning signs. They're built to act fast, effectively, and without hesitation. And that's what makes them so unforgettable. Not just what they do, but how they do it. Quietly, suddenly, with purpose. What we learn from them isn't about fear. It's about humility. Because the wild doesn't need to roar to remind us who's in charge. Sometimes it just needs to wait. Nature doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers. And those who don't listen learn the hard way. Today, we looked at creatures that don't need to be loud to be dangerous. They hide, they wait, they act with precision. And they remind us that survival isn't always about strength. It's about awareness, timing, and respect. If this video shifted the way you see the animal world, leave a like. Subscribe for more stories that go beyond the surface and show you the side of nature most people miss. And now it's your turn. Which of these creatures shocked you the most? Which one would you absolutely not want to meet up close? Or, is there an animal you think we should have included? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We're reading everyone.